guys, we're about to get into Only Murders in the Building, Season 3, Episode 6, Ghostlight.
Alright, here's a summary of Episode 6. All roads lead the trio back to Gooseberry Theater during a nerve-wracking thunderstorm. With Howard as their jittery guide, they track a legendary ghost who's haunted the theater for generations. Boo.
Boo.
Boo. What do we think about this episode? I thought it was good.
I thought it was good.
It was a cute little scary tip into kind of like the horror ghost genre, which I think was kind of cool.
Yeah, I just didn't like how the trio broke up, but I seen it coming. But overall, it was a good show. Not too many details, but a little bit of details that we seen. But
we met Jeremy.
Mm-hmm.
And then also Howard was so cute. Like
so cute.
Like I love
him and KT time together on the stage. It was just
Howard was cute, and I really do hope that eventually Jonathan and Howard kind of switch spots, and Howard can become the lead by the end of Death Rattle.
Yeah,
he was so cute, and his little his actor's voice was just that was.
And another hilarious part was when Charles flushed Mr. President down the toilet.
Yes, President McKinley.
President McKinley. I think he's going to be the next one to die, you know.
Biggest things that stuck out to us this episode. My biggest thing was that none of the trio is safe, and let me explain that. So we got Mabel, who's running around with Robert she's running around with him, and he's a little too good at his job. He's a little too into, but maybe he's just into Mabel like that and into the what's going on, but he's just a little too good. You also have Oliver, who is willing to tamper with evidence to save Loretta, and he wiped up all the lipstick.
And his career.
Of course, in Death Rattle.
Yeah.
And then just Charles is just going through. Like, Charles is going through. We still have the White Room situation, which I mentioned in the last episode, if you want to watch that. He's being quite forgetful and not sharing things with the trio. So, really, no one is being 100% truthful or 100% sober.
So let's talk more about Robert with the T.
Yeah.
So how he seems like too into the investigation, still suspicious like, and he this episode he comes to he wasn't invited to the theater, but he ended up just popping up in the theater,
following another lead.
He say, was he already there? Like, did he see him come? Did he follow Jonathan? Like, did he really have a lead? And if he really did have a lead, why he didn't text Mabel? Like, share with Mabel.
He should have had an idea that Mabel was going to be there, or did he just assume that he could just be in the theater and wouldn't get caught,
yeah. So when he gets to the theater, him and Mabel runs into Jonathan. And when they run into Jonathan said his anxiety was going, having the big lead, his anxiety was like really messing up. And the Dr. C gave him the same medication that Ben should have been taking. And then it came out at the end, one of the medications was
a little bit of meth.
A little bit of meth in it.
A little bit of meth in it.
In it. And then, but Mabel said, a little bit further, Mabel said that meth was not in the autopsy report or showed in Ben's autopsy. So my mind is going like, okay, why wasn't the meth showing up in the autopsy report? So did somebody end up taking his medication and switching it out for something else, and he's thinking he's taking it,
Yeah, kind of like a placebo effect. Like, he thinks this is doing something for him, but it's not really.
Like, really not. So maybe, they changed, like I said, they took the medication, changed it out for something else so he wouldn't be taking that. I don't know, so I'm leaning more to Dickie. Maybe change his medication, making it seem like, to make it seem like Ben was taking it.
So on to KT, who we also met this episode,
Well,
and
not
she
met,
mentions. What? Oh yeah, not met, but we digged a little bit more into her this episode.
Yeah.
So one thing that she dropped was in the meeting with Howard and KT, we found out that the office door was closed for the night that Ben died. So.
Yeah, so the office was closed the night that Ben died. So I was leaning more to, was somebody in the office and locked the door, or is it just a old building and it just locked on itself, like how Charles got locked into the utility closet bathroom thing.
Yeah.
So like, which ones is somebody in there? But when Howard went into and spoke with KT, she said, Howard, you made me mess up my highlighted. And then she started shredding the paper. It was Act 1 about going to the lighthouse. It was the detective and the nannies episode, and she was highlighting it. So I don't know if that has something, to do with it, or... I thought it was sketchy because they kind of zoomed into the shredder, and then when the shredder started happening, Howard looked at the shredder, the way the shredder was making the noise, like he heard that noise before. So, like, I don't know, it's something going on there.
So, knowing what we do know in episode 6, who do we think or suspect is the killer right now? For me, I'm going to say it really is truly up in the air right now.
Yeah.
For me, I'm saying it's looking sus for Tolbert. I still don't think he did it, but I think he's a red herring that knows something a little bit more, or is being secretive about something. It's looking way bad for Loretta after this episode, because now Oliver knows something is not quite right with Loretta, and there was more to it. So it's definitely pointing a lot to her. And I'm going to reserve a suspect seat for Charles, because it's looking bad for him too. Because he's also been noting a lot of forgetful tendencies, even forgetting to tell the trio about last night, but then also forgetting that he had, which is a natural part of aging, is forgetfulness. But he forgot that he had Jimmy keys to get himself out, and spent 20 minutes in the broom closet lamenting and all that. But yeah, I have a feeling that maybe he could be a suspect, and it's not one of the love interests. It's not Loretta, but it could possibly be Charles as the unintended. I don't think that he actually had a motive to kill him. It might have been accidental, but that's just what I'm thinking.
So I really don't know. But I don't think it's Tolbert or Loretta, even though Tolbert is suspect, and Loretta, they're pointing too much fingers at her. Mm-hmm. So I don't think she's the actual killer. But the kill, I think it was either he would try to commit fake his death. It had something to do with medication. Nobody tried to kill him. You know what I'm saying? Or medication, or, allergic reaction to something. Okay, so I'm not sure who the actual killer is. But I don't think it's Tolbert, even though he looks suspect. And I don't think it's Loretta, since a lot of things are pointing to her direction. I do think they have more to do with the murder, but I don't think that it's them. And then also, again, like we said in the previous episode, watch that, that we don't think that the first killing in the theater was actually somebody killing him. It was, maybe he nailed that. I think it may be allergic reaction to the medication, and he took something, or, he was trying to fake his death, prank his death. But my guess, I want to throw somebody out there that may be the killer, and I would say KT. Oh. I don't know why. KT just gave me some type of vibe. She wanted to, be a director. I'm saying that she thought she was the only person that got the hanky from Ben, and she found out that she wasn't. Maybe she confronted him. Maybe I don't know, but I'm gonna say KT. No, I'm not sure of the motive. But we will see in the next episode, I guess.
Yeah. So thank you to everyone who subscribed so far. Yeah. I love like the community that's happening in the comments. One person in particular had a really interesting theory. Name is Joy is Strange 9419. Said, I think it's Dickie. Loretta and Tobert are involved. Tobert may be just a witness. The journal Loretta keeps is to keep track of Dickie. The son she put up for adoption. Loretta let Ben know Dickie wasn't his real brother.
Like that.
Hence her being cursed. I have a weird feeling Dickie will kill Loretta and Charles will be the season 4 victim due to Steve Martin announcing retirement. So a lot of interesting dots there.
It's good.
Like, and that's been a theory that's been around for, well, that's an interesting spin to the theory.
Yeah.
But that's a big theory going on in the Reddit communities, is that Loretta is actually Dickie's mom. And that's like where the cursing comes from.
But I liked how you said that she ended up telling Ben that they're adopted. So I like that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought about, like that.
There's something in there like that snake scenario that Ben was telling Loretta about. There has to be something in there about, betrayal. How did she betray him? And also the word pig, like, of all words to use. So I attribute pig to greed, but then also like maybe harassment. So but majority of the time greed. Yeah. So, but thank you so much. Thank you so much.
We also want to hear everybody else's theories as well. So if you have any other theories, or not like ours, because we love hearing everybody, other than what we like, just like that sounds good, So just drop them down in the comments, and we'll greatly appreciate it, so we can go over it, because it's in my mind 24/7. So
all right, well, we'll see you on the next one.
See ya.
Bye.